Simplifying algebraic expressions, the distributive law. The distributive law is a fairly specific, very specific law in mathematics, but one that you need to get familiar with because this one shows its face quite a lot in later grades. The distributive law is a situation where you have one term being multiplied by many terms. A monomial being multiplied into a polynomial. And it's usually shown by one number or variable outside a polynomial in a bracket. The rule is that thing on the outside, that number, that variable, multiplies into every single thing inside the bracket. So what's happening here is this 2 is going to multiply by the x and then by the y, giving you 2 times x, 2x, plus 2 times y, 2y. And that's your final answer. Let's try a few more. So you get the hang of it. 3 times a minus 4. That 3 on the outside multiplies into each thing into the bracket. 3 times a, 3a, minus 3 times 4, 12. And yes, this also affects variables as well. You can have, let's say, a times, in brackets, a plus b. That a on the outside multiplies into each thing in the bracket, so you get a times a squared, plus a times b, ab. Now, what's happening here? The thing is on the other side. The main thing about distributive law is that thing has to multiply into the bracket in order for distributive law to take place. So it doesn't matter whether it's on the left or on the right. As long as it multiplies, you are still going to do distributive law. So that 2x is going to multiply by the x and the 4, 2x times x, 2x squared, plus 2x times 4, 8x. Right, now this one, originally I just had the minus sign over there. What catches many people off guard is that when they see just the minus sign, they tend to panic because they're not sure what they're supposed to multiply by. Well, if you recall, if you only see a minus sign, or if there's no number there, it's an invisible 1. So seeing just a negative sign means you're multiplying the whole thing by minus 1. And what that essentially does is just change the sign of the things in it. So minus 1 times x squared turns it from positive to negative x squared. Negative 1 times negative 6x changes it from negative to positive. Now what's happening here, you may ask? Most people get caught out and they think that, okay, I'm going to multiply the negative 5 into the bracket. But that's not actually the case. Why is that, you may ask? Well, you remember that terms are separated by minus signs, yes? As a result, that 5 is separated from the bracket. Distributive law only takes place when multiplication happens. That 5 is not multiplying by the bracket. And as a result, distributive law doesn't happen. But it does happen with that minus sign. So that negative 5 is going to come later. That negative sign changes the 2x plus 3 into negative 2x minus 3. And then the negative 5 comes over. And then you sort out your like terms as normal. This is a situation not many people will like. You got 3 times x plus 2, and then you still have times x. So it's getting distributive law from both sides. Yes, They are both going to multiply into that bracket. How do you know which one you choose? How do you know which one goes first? That's actually up to you. You can go one at a time. There's nothing wrong with that, but it just takes longer. What I prefer doing is bringing them all to one side and then doing distributive law like it was normal. So what I would do is bring that x over so it's 3x like normal, and then do your distributive law. 3x times x giving you x squared, 3x times 2 giving you the 6x. Here we have a situation where we have 3x plus 2x in one bracket and then a 5 minus a 2y in another bracket. This is to highlight that distributive law is multiplication. It falls under multiplication. It comes after the brackets and exponents. So if you can sort out brackets beforehand, you do that. So that's what I did over here. The 2x and the 3x can be added together to give you 5x. And then that 5x afterwards is going to multiply into the 5 minus 2y. 5x times 5, 25x. 5x times negative 2y, giving you negative 10xy. And then the final one we're going to work with is combining distributive law with another thing. Addition in this case. Since distributive law is multiplication, it goes first. 3 multiplies into x squared minus 5, 3x squared minus 15. Plus x times x, x squared, plus x times 4, giving you 4x. Any like terms? Yes. 3x squared plus x, 4x squared, plus 4x minus 15.